My name is Ilan Kapoor, and I teach at York University in Toronto, Canada. I'm here to talk to you about my article, Intersectionality, Decoloniality, Indigenous Localism, a Critique, published in Theory, Culture, and Society. My article carries out a psychoanalytic critique of these three theoretical frameworks, arguing that despite their critical stances, all three unconsciously assume and accept capitalist liberal democracy. The reason I wrote the article is because all three of these frameworks are notably popular in academic circles today, including at my own university. I would even say that today they dominate critical social theory, which is why I think they require scrutiny. As you may know, intersectionality stresses the complexity of identity to bring out the multiple axes of social marginalization under multicultural democracies: race, gender, sexual orientation, ability, and so forth. It is the oldest of the three frameworks I discuss, first elaborated in the late 1980s by Kimberly Crenshaw, but now undergoing a renaissance. Decoloniality, mainly advocated by the likes of Walter Mignolo, denounces the coloniality and Eurocentrism of global modernity. It argues instead for a pluriversality of cosmologies. Currently, this line of thinking is all the rage at Western universities, sparking initiatives to decolonize classrooms, knowledge, and pedagogies. And then there's what I call indigenous localism, espoused by the likes of Glenn Coulthard, as well as Eve Tuck and Wayne Yang. It's a critique of settler colonialism, and it advocates instead for a decentralized indigenous sovereignty. This too is a prominent critique on campuses today, particularly in North America and Australia, resulting in conspicuous calls for the enforcement of indigenous treaty rights, including the acknowledgement and repatriation of the indigenous lands on which some university campuses are located. But despite the critical stances of these three frameworks, I point out their unconscious acceptance of global capitalism by ascribing to identity politics, in the case of intersectionality, a pluriversal politics of authenticity, in the case of decoloniality, and a decentralized incommensurability, in the case of indigenous localism. Each engages in the culturalization and localization of politics, which end up ignoring or disavowing, as we say in psychoanalysis, the dimension of political economy. As a result, none really poses a threat to capitalist liberal globalization. Now, my overall political aim is not to dismiss the claims of these critical bodies of work. I very much share their anti-racist, feminist, anti-colonial, and pro-indigenous politics. But I want to demonstrate the pressing importance of facing up to the antagonisms of capitalist political economy in our times. Without meaningfully attending to questions of social and economic exploitation and inequality, I think that all the changes they propose are changes that prop up rather than dismantle our current capitalist economic and political regime. My article concludes by reflecting on what this kind of disavowal says about our late capitalist times, and what it says about us, as well as what it says about the possibilities and the perils of a contemporary anti-capitalist politics. So I invite you to read the article, and I welcome any critical reflections you might have. Thanks. Bye.